He didn't yell. He washed the sheets. That was my first clue that my apology tour wasn't going to work on Noah. He came home from a 2-day client trip, set his roller bag by the door, walked past me in the kitchen, and went straight to our bedroom. I followed like a shadow with a speech. He stripped the duvet, peeled the fitted sheet off one corner, then the next, gathered everything like a net, and shoved it into the washer, without looking at me.
Noah.
I started. Please don't, he said, quiet, as if the word had a lid. I had slept with someone else in the bed we picked out from a showroom together, the bed he assembled on a Saturday while I read him the instructions and pretended we were in a commercial for normal people. It wasn't a stranger, it was someone from before. Tom, a mistake I had romanticized into a memory. It happened because I let a lonely night talk me into a story about closure, and because I believed I could have a moment and keep my life. No one knew before I confessed. He's not a detective, he's a systems analyst. Our doorbell camera doesn't care about romance. There's a clip stamped 11:44 p.m., a man-shaped blur coming up the path. There's a clip stamped 1:07 a.m., the same blur on the way out. Our bedroom doesn't have a camera. Noah isn't that kind of man. But our hallway does, pointed at the front door because Chicago package thieves are bold and because order makes him feel safe. Add to that my Lyft receipt from Tom's place the night before. We went for a drink to talk, my phone lighting up at 6:18 a.m. with a text I forgot to delete. Last night was intense. Are you okay? And the way guilt makes your whole body perform. Even if I'd kept my mouth shut, the math added. He ran a second cycle on hot. Then he carried the basket to the guest room and made the bed in there like a man setting up a cot during a storm. He came back to the kitchen, took a legal pad from the drawer where we keep takeout menus and wrote, "House rules, effective now." He numbered them like a product spec. 1. Communications by email only. Subject lines, house, topic.
2.
Do not enter the guest room. I will not enter the main bedroom.
3.
Use the shared Google Calendar for any shared logistics.
4.
No relationship talks in person. Put anything you need to say in writing.
5.
No guests inside the home.
6.
Do not delete anything from the house without logging it on the inventory sheet, link below.
7.
For anything we dispute, we'll table until counsel is present. He slid the sheet across the island with a pen. Initial if you read it, he said, not unkind. My hands shook so hard the letter R looked like a lie detector. I'm sorry, I said, and hated how small it sounded. I'm not your priest, he said. Email me. That night, he slept in the guest room with the door closed. I lay on my side of the bed and stared at the ceiling fan outline blinking in from the streetlight through the blinds and tried to hate him for not performing a scene. Rage would have been familiar. Silence was geometry. At 7:02 a.m., an email landed in my inbox with the subject house, interim budget and accounts. In it, he outlined 3 steps. He'd opened a new checking account for his direct deposit and moved his portion of bill pay there. He'd removed me as an authorized user from his primary card, the one I used for Target runs, because I will not finance my own humiliation, which should be petty but read like a surgery, and he created a shared spreadsheet for mortgage, utilities, and groceries with due dates and amounts.
He wasn't emptying accounts.
He was cleaving our lives down the middle like a careful butcher. The next message arrived 2 hours later. House, counsel. I've retained counsel at Larkin and Bell. I'm filing for dissolution this week on the ground of irreconcilable differences. Illinois is no fault. I won't allege facts. Please direct any legal questions to attorney email. I will communicate only about house logistics directly with you. He included a Google Doc link titled Marital Inventory. It had tabs: furniture, kitchen, electronics, books, art, sentimental, copies only. Each line had columns for item, where, who purchased, marital/non-marital, and proposed disposition. There was a column called disputed, with checkboxes. I learned he can build a spreadsheet like a wall. He didn't tell my mother. He didn't text the group chat. He didn't send Tom a nuclear message. He forwarded one email to Tom. With no commentary, only a line, "Do not contact my wife again. Further messages will be forwarded to counsel." Tom replied, "Understood, because cowards understand boundaries better than ethics." I tried to force a talk anyway, because that's what movies taught me. I blocked the kitchen doorway when he came out for coffee, wearing my softest sweater because I still believe in wardrobe as spell. "I need you to look at me," I said. He set the mug down and met my eyes with the kind of politeness you give a cashier. "I'm looking," he said. "I need to explain," I said. "You want a narrative version where this is less your decision," he said, still quiet. "You want me to interact so you can calibrate guilt."
I'm not doing that.
There's no utility in postmortems with someone who didn't treat the patient while it was still alive. "I love you," I said, because it felt like a life preserver. "You had a chance to love me at 11:44 p.m., he said. "I'm not going to be an audience for how sorry you are at noon." The petition arrived by a polite man with a badge clipped to a belt, private process server. The attached standing order from the Domestic Relations Division read like a rulebook for sadness. "Neither party may remove the child from the jurisdiction. We don't have one a mercy. Neither party may destroy assets. Neither may harass the other. Both must maintain the status quo on bills." Our judge had probably signed the same order 30 times that day. I read it like it could give me back a world. My friends asked what happened in our chat called Rat Pack, which is ironic because none of us are interesting. I wrote, "We're separating. We need time." I didn't paste screenshots. Noah didn't belong to the chat, but I could imagine the way he'd read the vague phrase, "We need time," and reach for a red pen. My sister, Leah, asked me plainly, "Is there someone else?" I typed, "There was. It's done." She didn't reply for an hour, which is its own sentence. When she did, she wrote, "If you want to keep him, stop trying to get a speech out of him. Hire a lawyer. Show up to mediation. Don't make him parent your feelings." Leah has 3 kids, so she knows about adults who need naps. Noah's lawyer proposed mediation dates in an email that was so brief, informative, friendly, firm. It read like a case study. "We propose a 2-session mediation. 1, personal property and living arrangements. 2, financial division. Attached you will find husband's preliminary marital inventory and budget. Please produce wife's financial affidavit within 14 days. I had to Google financial affidavit. It means the state wants numbers, not poems. In the meantime, we practiced an in-home separation. We used the shared calendar like a religion. He turned off read receipts on his phone and stopped giving me the intimacy of immediacy. He took the office on weekdays, I took it on weekends. He left the car to me on Tuesdays because my Pilates class makes it brutal to find street parking at 6. He asked me to stop using the pet names that felt like trespassing now. He did not slam doors. He did not forget the trash schedule. He did not look at me any longer than a person looks at a painting they already know. Once, I tried to draw him out with a story about my childhood. The time I thought I lost my brother at a county fair and found him asleep under a carnival booth table. And he smiled at the beat he's heard 100 times and said, "Please email me if you need the grocery list updated." It wasn't cruelty. It was a refusal to feed a fire. The only time he hinted at anger was a single line in an email about the budget. "Please reimburse the $321.44 charge to the joint account from Friday." Per bank records, it was a hotel. He did not add my name or Tom's. He did not underline hotel. He attached a Venmo link and a screenshot of the bank charge. I sent the money in the time it takes to make shame into a verb. Mediation was fluorescent but civil. The mediator, a woman with a tidy silver bob, kept us between guardrails. "Property division in Illinois is equitable, not equal," she explained. "Adultery doesn't entitle anyone to a bigger slice, but dissipation. Wasting marital money on a third party can be reimbursed." She pointed to the $321.44 and a restaurant charge from the night before. Noah didn't crow.
He didn't even look at me.
He said, "I'd like those credited to my side," and the mediator typed it like a grocery item. We split the couch, to him, the The dining table, to me, the books by author, we drafted like kids picking for kickball, the art we couldn't bear to divide, scanned copies for both. He kept the espresso machine. You picked this. Keep it. And in that small reversal, I wanted to cry. We agreed each would keep their retirement accounts. We made a plan to sell the condo in spring because rents are absurd and the market is a coin flip, and neither of us wants to be the one who loses the toss. I kept trying to intercept him with humanity. Do you ever think about the weekend in Door County? I asked once in the hallway, as if nostalgia could buy back time. I think about the credit union on Friday, he said. They close at 5. Please sign. He won if you need that shape for this. He didn't win like a movie antagonist, with a clapback or a public spectacle. He won by refusing to be conscripted into my drama as a supporting actor. He won by living inside rules he didn't consult the internet to write. If emails, no contact except logistics, no performance for friends, no speeches that let me reframe the night into a lesson we learned together. He won by funneling pain into planning so that the only things that caught fire were paper copies. In March, our realtor staged the condo with white pillows that don't belong to people with real lives. We packed the last box, labeled miscellaneous. Because life won't let you be neat at the end, and put it by the door. The photographer arrived. Noah stepped aside so he wouldn't be in the frame. I wanted to say sorry again, in some new way that would finally land like a gift and not a ploy, but there are only so many times a word can do work you didn't hire it for. When we signed the final documents at the title office, lines and initials, signatures that look like a heartbeat tracing, I handed him an envelope with a letter in it. Not to keep him. To say what I should have said before I lit a match. I wrote, I won't ask you for closure you don't owe me. Thank you for keeping the story small. I'll keep it small too. He didn't open it there. He put it in his satchel like a paid bill. The decree arrived by email a week later. Final judgment of dissolution. With language that sounded like a machine making sausage out of a life. Marriage dissolved, property divided, each party responsible for their debts. No footnotes about sheets or doorbells or 11:44 p.m. Life choices. Courts don't annotate your character. They total your columns. I thought he might relax after the ink was dry. He didn't. He stayed humane and distant in exactly the proportion required. When he came to pick up the last of his boxes, he texted arriving in 5. He lifted with his legs. He wiped the counters where the boxes had been. He left his key in a little ceramic dish by the door without ceremony. He said, "Take care, Jenna." The first time he'd said my name in months, and it slid through me like a needle. I lost a husband who would have forgiven me for almost anything except the lie I told myself. That love is stronger than math. I learned that math wins. 11:44 p.m., 1:07 a.m., $321.44, one legal pad with house rules. I learned that a good man can be the bigger person without writing a manifesto about it, that he can refuse to turn you into content and still exit your life in a way that makes you a better person if you're paying attention. If anyone asks me what happened, I don't tell them a story about a loveless marriage or a man who shut down. I say, I cheated in my own bed. He washed the sheets, moved to the guest room, hired a lawyer, and never raised his voice. He made lists instead of scenes. He saved both of us from becoming a cautionary post. It isn't romantic. It's adult. And the older I get, the more I understand how rare and how kind that is.